whenever we talk about investments, there are two things that will go hand in hand whenever you get to mention about an investment. Number one is return. Number two is risk. And it is the second aspect that I want us to think about in this video. So, risk is that thing that will prevent your investment from achieving the desired goal. Risk is the probability of deviation from the expected return. It is the difference between what you expected and what you get. In short, it is the probability that you will not get the returns that you expected. For example, it is the probability that you will not get your principal back, and you will also not get the interest that you expected back. It is the probability that you'll get a lower interest than you expected. And the thing that we need to focus about here is risk appetite. Now, risk appetite is the amount of risk that you as an individual is willing to take. And it happens that we have people with different risk appetites. And that's why we engage in different economic activities. The economic activity you engage in, or the investment that you get to engage in, it's highly guided by your risk appetite. Because there's someone with a low risk appetite, it means that those people are not willing to take any risk. And these are the individuals whose money will only remain in banks, because they believe that in banks their money is totally safe. I hope you are together. So that is someone with a low risk appetite, and these are people who will hardly engage in investment. These are people who are on the extreme of preferring safety of their funds over the returns that they would get from investing the funds. Then there are others who are willing to take some risk, some moderate risk, and they get to invest in low risk investments. Then kuna sasa businessmen, they are able to take higher risks, and as we progress, the higher the risk appetite, the higher the risk that one is willing to take. Ndio unapata on the extreme end we have those people with very high risk appetite, watu kama wenye wana engage in gambling. I don't want to say that gambling is an investment. Definitely majority of people believe that it is, but those people who engage in gambling they are people with a very high risk appetite. Like wanaekelea pesa yao na wanajua hapo. In fact, some of them say that it is 90% chance of losing, or 10% chance of becoming a millionaire. And because of their high risk appetite, they tend to hang on that 10% chance of becoming a millionaire. Wao watu wa high risk ni wale watu wanasema wanaekelea ile pesa kidogo imebaki wananunua kamba. Those are people that are able to take a very high risk. Now, as an individual, you need to sit down and get to analyze your own self and determine the amount of risk that you are able to take, so that you can be able to determine your risk appetite. Because we have said that it is your risk appetite that guides you on the kind of investments that you'll make. You cannot be a low risk appetite person then unaenda kuingia huko gambling juu hiyo pesa ikipotea the next time tunakuona kwa news, sijui tunaanza kusema sijui issues za mental health, but it's simply that you are a low risk person and you engaged in a high risk investment or a high risk venture kama gambling, so you are not able to handle the loss and you ended up taking your life. So it is important to know your risk appetite. On the other end, a very high risk person, a person with a high risk appetite, kikuja kumwambia kuhusu this low investment avenues zenye sijui unamwambia about 10% interest annually, ataona hiyo ni ujinga unafanya. Yeye ana prefer pale aekelea either apate ama akose. So it is your risk appetite that guides the kind of investments that you make. So as an individual, you should make effort to analyze yourself and get to understand your risk appetite. Like how much loss can you handle? So that you know if you cannot handle losses, make sure that you invest in those things that are very 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 low risk. Otherwise utaenda kuinvest pahali wezi handle loss yake, and once you get to lose you get yourself into so many issues which might include mental issues. So it is important that you get to learn your risk appetite, know what you can afford to lose, and then make the investment choice wisely. There is a certain form that I had seen that was all about trying to gauge someone's risk appetite. And one of the questions was that what would happen if you get to lose the whole amount that you have invested? So there were options like number A, like it will not bother me that much. Then number B, yes, it will bother me, but I'll survive regardless. Then number 3, it will give me a lot of sleepless nights. Then number 4, won't even to imagine about that happening, because if I get to lose that amount, that will be the end of me. So get to analyze yourself, you know yourself the best, and get to understand the amount that you can afford losing. Get to determine your risk appetite so that you can be able to choose your investment avenues wisely.